This is something I've seen, trying to sort of focus on doing everything all at once. So trying to get the speed, the capability, the sort of everything being all encompassed, all in one go, rather than focusing over initial goals and accuracy of the data they've got. Trying to do it all in one go will mean that you'll be waiting for a very long time for that absolutely perfect insight to be there.
Marketers, there's like a gap in know-how and in skill when it comes to data. I think that's true for the most part, to be completely honest. In general, what I see the most is the part of the analysis itself being one of those skills that are just very surface level when it comes to like marketing teams. Not to say that there's not like some analysis happening, but it is very focused on the marketing funnel itself.
What often marketers don't do in terms of the data that they're getting back, the ROI, is ask the basic things of, I'm seeing some big ROI numbers here. Is it too good to be true? And quite often I say, if it is a really big ROI number, it is too big to be true.
If you look closer on like the KPI or the metric last click ROAS is overvaluing channels that are able to put an ad impression close to a conversion event.
Coming from a product and engineering background, something that I keep repeating over and over, which is the marketing and agency world is a bit insane in the way we customize for every single client, right? Over customization for a client is not to the benefit of the client.
It's the order in which campaigns are being executed. The marketers put the priorities on executing the campaigns, but I think it's really important to first think about your data and your business case and invest a lot of time into research and validation.
Strategies normally break down because one, there's no common definition. So what is, I know it sounds very simple and basic, but what's an impression, what's an engagement?
To focus on productization versus services and solutions. I think that is a big mistake. I see in many kind of agencies and companies, I see teams spinning up custom data warehouses just specifically for their client, building custom insights tools specifically for their client.
If you don't set your objectives top bottom, then your objectives will not speak the business objectives, basically. And at some point, a disconnect will be created.
I worked with a company that works in the stainless steel container industry, which does not sound exciting, but it is. And they created a manhole cover or a man lid for these stainless steel trailers that go down the highways. Based on their data, they decided they would lower their price because there were too many competitors out there. The only issue was they had an amazing breakthrough technology that they included in it. Their data said, don't raise a price. Their data said the market will not handle it. So they actually hid the uniqueness.
The next piece is around the data pipelines. I know at Verity you've got great tech within this space. It's not neglecting it because it changes so often. You've got to really harness and ensure the quality of the data keeps coming through.
One of the biggest factors in sort of providing useful high quality data for analytics and how you get high quality insights out is making sure that data serves the purpose and does so effectively and accurately. The old adage of garbage in, garbage out is never more true than with marketing data. And sourcing just the right data for the job is such an important piece of that.
And then when it comes to like data quality itself, sometimes I've seen marketing teams creating like multiple properties or workflows or things exclusively based on marketing, and then without any regard of how this is going to be looked at or parsed out throughout the rest of the funnel.
Sort of understanding what you want to sort of see and measure and analyze, and then working backwards to the data that you need. Just having the data you need allows you to be able to validate that it's correct more easily. Often the idea of making sure we have all the data and literally going out and sourcing every possible data source you can get can leave you in a situation where you have sort of noise and you have volume that you just can't practically deal with and ensure that it's accurate as you'd want it to be.
The client thinks they want customization, right? But what they're actually asking for is personalized outcomes. They don't want us to reforge the hammer each time. That's what we decide to do.
Once you've got that sort of right data, you can get your sort of right results out that first time. And I'd say The idea of having everything perfect first time, I would say, is a way to ensure you get no results. And I always say some results are better than no results.
Always think about attribution. Okay, all right, what else might have influenced this sale other than my search ad or display ad that consumer has seen? Because you're likely attributing a number of different touch points that consumer may have engaged or seen and attributing that to a marketing sale.
I think it really all comes down to being very marketing centric and not looking at the rest of the funnel for the most part. But again, a lot of those false positives that we're saying, great number of leads this quarter or great number of MQLs, but how is that trickling? How is that making an impact for the company is, part of those skill sets that the marketing team should probably think about a little bit more or expand a little bit more on. And it doesn't look at the other pieces that we were just talking about, right?
When a client comes in and says I'm special, my brand is special, I need a custom approach, and the marketeer then interprets that as having to build a custom solution, that basically again hinders that foundational layer of standardization to really leverage AI. What the client is asking you to do is build this super personalized and customized outcome for them. You can only do that if you have kind of a standard way of working, right?
So having that overall discussion with the teams across that your work is touching is the first step that marketers should be doing. And then from there, you have to look into your own metrics. What is it that I want to measure and what type of data do I have available?
Make sure that you're not trying to sort of burn the world trying to get everything to be perfect the first time round. Because I've having started on enough projects over my time is the first one will give you insight. It will not give you the perfect insight.
I guess my encouragement here would be to really think about the whole company when you're looking at data and analysis and quality and all of those things.
Don't look at one data point in isolation. Cross-reference it against a number of different data points. Obviously, look at a trend and track it over time and actually see how much deviation is between what you've seen before. And if it is too low or too high, retest it, relook at it, use a certain amount of gut feel.
Standardize over and over again and try to tell your client a story on how that kind of foundational layer and that standardization is gonna deliver to them those tailored solutions versus reinventing the wheel over and over again.
If you can get the marketing systems being reliable, just as reliable as financial reporting tools, for example, it just means that the strategy that the marketers develop is sharper.
It's really about first things first. This way you will get to know the market up front and maybe correct your strategy along the way based on real-time data instead of just looking at the data at the end of the process. So
keep it simple because it works every time.